It's time to break down some football.
We got to get our mind right. Touchdown, win.
From the perspective of guys who played in the NFL.
Caught, touchdown!
And a guy who had one really great sack in high school.
Oh, you're so weak. You're a waste of my time.
Greg Camarillo and Marcus McNeil are the pros. And Skraby is the Joe.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Two Pros and a Joe starts right now.
Two Pros and a Joe, episode number 2 for the week of September 27th. 2. Did Craig just go 2? He did. And in this one, we're going to talk about the AFC West rankings. We're also going to do the fuck. And just wait around for our thoughts on Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones, because it's ridiculous what those two are up to. It's like Dumb and Dumber, those two, but we're going to get to that a little bit later in the podcast. You can follow us at the number 2 Pros and a Joe on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You could also follow Greg at Catch Camarillo, Marcus at Marcus McNeil 73, and me at Matt Skraby. Those guys are the pros. I am the Joe. So let's start and get right into our AFC West rankings. Now, the AFC West, surprisingly, might be the best division in football at the moment in time. I mean, they're them and the NFC South, but there's some smoke and mirrors with the NFC South. We'll get to that one day.
NFC West, let's throw them in there too.
Yeah, the NFC West as well,
solid.
because the Rams are considered the best team in football right now. So
they are. Scrapes, don't say it with that voice. They are.
They're fucking balling right now.
Oh, now that Matt Stafford is there, it's the best team on earth. Oh,
Hey,
I like Matt Stafford. I just hate Sean McVay. I think he's so annoying.
They look good. They
Bro,
look
they
good.
look
If your
great.
coach, let me ask you guys this before we get into the AFC West. If your coach is sprinting down the sideline to give Deshaun Jackson a hug, are you guys happy about that? Or are you like, dude, what are you
It's
doing?
great. I'll tell you why. So
I'm rocking
Deshaun
with
Jackson is not on the team because he was great 6 years ago. He's there as a veteran presence to help guys out. So he's just going to run fast. We'll get you the ball every few months. But the coach knows I got to keep this veteran dude happy. He's been a diva. We got to get him the ball. We got to keep him happy. Let's throw him a touchdown and celebrate with him, because when he's happy, it's the same with Jalen Ramsey. When you keep these star dudes with personalities happy, good things are happening. I love it.
All right. Well, Marcus said he's rolling with it, so
I'm rolling with it. I'm rolling with it. I like his coaching style. He kind of reminds me of Dabo Swinney of the NFL. You know, where he's kind of like rocking with his players, because they're almost like he's a young coach. You know what I'm saying? So he still has that swagger and that demeanor that I think they can relate to. So when he comes in there and gives them that type of energy, they feed off of it. And like you say, now they got Matthew Stafford. He got lost up there in Detroit, but he got a gun on him.
He does.
So Matt Stafford's 33 and the coach is 35. They're the same age. So
They're the same age. They hanging out. They got to be hanging out.
Oh, they're like playing video games at night in their pajamas and all
Fortnite
that stuff.
and shit.
Fortnite. All right, AFC West rankings. I'm just gonna lay out the teams in order of their ranking right now, and then we'll go each through, and we'll start with the worst team in the AFC West. It goes Raiders at 3-0, Broncos at 3-0, Chargers 2-1, Chiefs 1-2. Now I'll start on my worst in the division, and it's really crazy to say, but the Denver Broncos have played no one this year. They've played the Jets, the Jaguars, and the Giants. So they are
100% agree with you, Scrapes.
Smoke and mirrors 3-0.
Hey, we 3-0 right there.
We're
can
3-0.
keep on moving. Nobody's getting fooled. I don't care how well Von Miller dances. I don't care. I do not care.
They have beat teams that are all winless. They have 3 victories against teams that have not won a game. It's sad to put a 3-0 team at the bottom, but they're the worst.
They are the worst.
Got to be real.
Yeah, and Vic Fangio, I was a big fan of his when he was the 49ers coach, but he's also one of those guys who has a clueless look on his face sometimes when things happen.
I do love seeing Teddy Bridgewater have success, though.
Yeah, me too.
That dude's been on a journey, so it's good to see him
Teddy,
find the
man. Everybody loves Teddy, man.
You gotta love a QB that rocks a glove, man. He's out there Michael Jackson
with Teddy too, man. Hey, y'all still the worst right now.
Yeah, I mean, they played some terrible teams, but so they're all of our worst team in the AFC West. Now, this is when it gets weird, because I'm going to go in my third place.
What you got?
At the moment,
Yep.
Right now, as we
Spit it out.
sit,
Come on now, Skraby.
I got the Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders. I got the Las Vegas Raiders.
I 100% agree with you, Skraby.
Really?
The 2-3-0 teams. Oh, wait. Yeah, they're 3-0. Both
yeah,
of
they're
them.
3-0.
They're at the last two spots.
I'm taking. We locked in again, guys.
Really?
All right. Hey, great minds think alike.
That's
Yeah,
true.
You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Yeah, they
Oakland's
do.
in number 3. Oakland's
That's
number
what they
3.
say.
I'm not falling for the smoke and mirrors.
All right. I'm guessing our 1 and 2s might be a little different.
Yeah, I think my number 2 is going to have to be the Chargers. I can't unseat the Chiefs until they prove to me that they're going to lose a lot more. I feel like this is just a weird start for the Chiefs, but the Chargers are number 2, and their win over KC, huge, massive win.
I agree with you again, and it's kind of fucked up to do that literally after they just beat the other team. But Kansas City's not going to turn the ball over 4 times all the time. They're going to play again. If they're playing next week, I would say Kansas City. I would still put my money on Kansas City.
Oh my God! Well, this is where the rubber meet the road, y'all. There is no way I can put. I'm sorry, my number 2 team is gonna be KC.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Period. The record doesn't lie. They lost some games, the Baltimore Ravens game, then to come back and then lose against the Chargers. I'm sorry. Like, I can't put you up there with a losing record. I can't put you at number 1 in division with a losing record.
You can't go from 4th to 1st like Scrapes and I did.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a marathon, not the race. You know what I'm saying? And this is still the first quarter of the season. So I'm not saying where they're going to end up at, but right now, the Chargers are clicking and they hitting. They got an offensive line that's doing stuff, but I'll let y'all go ahead to number 1.
Well, the Chiefs are the Chiefs are the only team in the division with a negative net points. They're -3 in their net points, and then the Chargers are at 7. The Broncos are outscoring their teams by 50, but they also play the Jets, who
they don't count. They got 6 preseason games basically.
Yes, basically. But like, as much as the Chargers, Justin Herbert is legit. He's the real deal. He's making throws that no one else is making. He's dropping dimes, as they say. But the Chargers have already chargered once this year.
Yep.
And that's why I can't put them ahead. Until they stop charging, I can't put them ahead.
So I feel the opposite way. And I feel like they could very easily be 3-0. They screwed themselves and they continue to do it against Kansas City and almost lost, but they really should be 3-0. They should be tied in first place with the other squads. But we got Chargers Raiders on was that Monday night coming up this week. Excited to see that matchup.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one right there.
Yeah, that will be a good one. I didn't know that. That's an awesome game for Monday Night Football. Finally, Monday Night Football. Well, not Monday Night Football. Thursday Night Football is Jaguars, Bengals. Whatever.
Why y'all not gonna sell me on the 2 number 1 picks?
Like, can we flex that? Can we? Yeah.
Can we flex Thursday Night Football?
Friday morning football.
And that's exactly, Marcus. That's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to market it as the future of the league, going head to head with 2 terrible teams.
Just move it to Saturday or something. Like, just make football all weekend. Like, that's just pretty cool during the playoffs. Like, run that shit. Thursday
Let me
night.
say this though, Jamar Chase, for a guy who had to say he couldn't catch an NFL ball, he is catching a lot of NFL balls, and he made a catch against the Steelers over the weekend with his fingertips in the end zone. That was awesome. So he's been great.
That's the type of player he is. And Greg, you might know this more than anybody else from the wide receiver position. Like, when you got that level of talent, like, it just doesn't go anywhere.
You don't. You're spot on. You don't suddenly become somebody with the dropsies. Now, if you've had a tendency and then you start dropping it and your confidence leaves, I get that. But you don't suddenly go from stud to dropsies. Like that. It doesn't happen. It's just, a couple bad drops and he's right back in the mix.
Youngest player in the NFL history to have 4 touchdowns in his first 3 games. So,
yeah, the dude's got a future for sure.
He does have a future, and the Bengals have a future if they can keep everyone healthy. They got some good building blocks. And
hey, Joe knows.
Yeah, he does. He does. All right, our favorite segment of the week. It's time. The fuck. I need to get us just saying "the fuck" over it to intro the segment, but I think that would be hilarious. And each of us have one, or I can just present them, but I will present the first one. Or do you want to go first?
Yeah, this one, because as soon as it happened, texting you guys, letting you know I got the first the fuck. And in this week's, it is the fuck were you thinking? So Cliff Kingsbury, the Cardinals, they're attempting the longest field goal in the history of ever. 68 yards outside with the current greatest return man in the NFL waiting. The fuck are you thinking? No, I get it's Jacksonville. I get you can make some mistakes. But that's the dumbest shit ever. You got
dumb as hell.
Marcus McNeil-sized human beings trying to tackle the best returner in a wide open field.
That shit is not going to work.
No, and it didn't work.
Yeah, that was pretty stupid. And after they showed Cliff Kingsbury, he's kind of looking at the field like, what the fuck just happened?
I've only seen it one time better happen like that, and I don't know if you guys heard of the kick six at Auburn.
Yeah, of course, against Alabama.
I actually went to that game. I was at the game. Yes, I was at the game, and I remember I'm sitting up and I'm talking to my buddy Steve Wallace, old 49er, matter of fact, Skraby, and they're lining up, and the guy's back there, and I tell Steve, I'm like, bro, if he catches this is gonna be a house call. And the reason why I said it was for the exact same reason. They had the field goal team that has to turn to the punt coverage team. Those are two totally fucking different teams.
Dudes don't tackle. They're too big.
Your job on the field goal team is to sit and anchor.
Yep.
Your job on the punt coverage team is to cover lanes and move. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sorry, that shit just doesn't work. And by the time I finished, only reason why I said that it was better at Auburn than this one was because by the time it finished, I was so ecstatic. I'm literally holding a 50-year-old white man up in the air, swinging him to where his feet weren't touching the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about belly to belly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, this was also against Alabama, right? Like, so this was major. That's major.
It was the Iron Bowl. It was the, rivalry game, everything. Alabama's already ranked everything. You know what I'm saying? They're already top, undefeated. So we knocked them off with this kick. So when I saw it happening, it was just remnants of that. And I just loved every moment of it, watching those offensive linemen trying with their coverage skills.
Big Mac, so you saw the kick assist that I think was the most impressive. You were on the team when Cromartie did it in 2007. And the reason I think it was the most impressive is because he jumped up
and caught it
with his hands at the high point and toe tapped to stay in. So we're talking 109.9 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
Like literally could not be further, and then took it to the house. So man, I had some battles with Crow on the field. So I'm probably the last one to give him some love for a play, but I got to give him some love for that play.
I think that might have been the only good play we had in Minnesota, though. That's the only thing. Like,
really?
What Adrian Peterson, I think, went for like 3 bills on us that game, and we had the number one defense in the league, and he still went for 3 bills on us. So, like, I was so like just distraught about that. It was a great moment in the game, but I think like it gets watered down a little bit because we were getting our ass kicked.
That's fair.
When you take that dump, you don't want to look at it.
No. God, it's still so disgusting to me.
I should move on.
That should move on. Good job, Crow.
All right, the next one for me at least is a tweet by Adam Schefter, and as soon as I read this, I said, "The fuck." Bears head coach Matt Nagy told reporters today that all 3 quarterbacks, Justin Fields, Nick Foles, and Andy Dalton, are under consideration to start in Week 4 against the Lions. The fuck are you thinking? Just name a starter, bro. God, and it can't be Justin Fields. He needs some more time to develop.
Bro, come on.
So from a practice standpoint, I'll phrase it in, how in the fuck are you going to give everybody reps? You got what, like 40 reps for the week? Like, you can't split that by 3.
Week 4, this shit is not preseason right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are not splitting up reps like that. You just fucking the whole team right now. I'm sorry.
And Nick Foles is not the answer. Let's just be honest right there.
I mean, Andy Dalton's not, and we just saw what Justin Fields could do.
He got sacked 9 times. He looked on the bench, by the way, and I felt bad for him because I think he's going to have a good NFL career. I wanted the 49ers to draft him.
Man.
But I think he was sitting on the bench like, oh my God, this NFL thing is so much harder. Than
These guys are big and fast. I don't think any quarterback's going to succeed back there, but I'd rather put an old veteran out there and let him see what he can do as opposed to just destroying the confidence of my young guy.
Yeah.
Marcus, did you have any defucks before I move on to more of mine?
Actually, you know what? It's on the same team with the Chicago Bears. I think they had a lot of defucks going on this week. This one goes to Bill Layers, the offensive coordinator, right? Like, you had all this offseason, whole preseason to come up with a game plan for your boy Justin Fields, and you get him 68 yards. You drop this man back like 20-something times, and you're going to block Myles Garrett with 5 people. Like, the man was sitting there eating their ass up, man. Like,
eating their ass up.
At some point in time, you got to, like, just stand there and be like, nah, fuck this. Like, you ain't just going to keep on whipping my ass like that now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you're going to have to do.
68 passing yards. 67 yards of sacks, so a net one forward yard.
That has to be a record in itself. The fuck, like, no quarterback has ever netted 1 yard. I would be curious to see that.
You're probably right, because that was ridiculous, and I feel bad for Justin Fields because he's just trying, and he's got Dumb and Dumberer coaching him, because we're gonna get to Dumb and Dumber here in just a second.
Together. They might be coming to work on a scooter, like.
Real quick, I have another the fuck, and it goes to it's in the same game. Marquise Hollywood Brown. I think Greg tweeted this. We need to take the Hollywood off of his name.
Hollywood's been revoked
because he was dropping passes all over the place.
Long Beach now, Marquise.
Yeah. Hollywood. He got to go. That name's got to go. Stop it. When you get to catching touchdowns, you can have your Hollywood back. He dropped 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Bad.
What
bad.
Are you doing?
Bad drops. They were like open passes that he was just dropping.
So this is the opposite of Jamar Chase. So this is a guy that's had dropsies before, and you start dropping them, then it's in your head. It's mental. You're worried about it. You're thinking about it. You're going to start dropping more. So we're going to drop that Hollywood nickname until he earns it back.
Marquise Long Beach Brown. He needs another Marquise.
I'm pretty sure it's Hollywood, Florida. I think
it is Hollywood, Florida.
Okay.
So we're going to call him Hollandale Beach. Marquise Hollandale Beach Brown.
Daytona Beach or something like that.
Marquise Pensacola Brown.
There we go. Something that's not cool whatsoever. To pair with that, Dan Campbell, the head coach of the Lions, he, after the game, realized, or he probably realized during the game, but the play clock ran out the play before the field goal. Yep. So it wouldn't have been a 66-yard field goal. It would have been a no attempt of a field goal because it would have been 71 yards. But Dan Campbell said in the post-game presser, he was like, yeah, we're going to take it up with the league. What the fuck is going to happen with the league? They're not going to redo the game.
Nothing. I don't even understand. Like, I feel like that shit is strictly for, I don't know, to save face or some shit, because there's no way they're going to come back. They're not going to change a score. They're not going to change a down. They're not even going to give you the damn penalty. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not even going to give you the 5 yards. Like, at least they could go back to the stat sheet. Like, oh, this shit was supposed to be a 5-yard penalty. They're not even going to do that. Nothing. So really, you're just wasting your fucking time. Take the Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying? Take that shit, flush it, and move on.
Dan Campbell is willing to bite kneecaps, but not willing to argue for a penalty.
Some bullshit.
It's ridiculous. Dan Campbell. Joke that he's even the Lions head coach. Now I'm attacking Dan Campbell for no reason. All right, the last one I have on the list is Dumb and Dumber. Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones. Last night, Mike McCarthy failed to use either of his timeouts coming to the end of the second half. So the Eagles had a 2nd and 21, and then it became a 3rd and 24. And then after the 3rd and 24, it was 4th and 5. And Mike McCarthy didn't call a timeout to help the Cowboys score before the half. So McCarthy told reporters after the game, the decision was to take the lead going into halftime. I was comfortable given where the ball was at. And that's all he said. I was comfortable given where the ball was at. So it was really stupid because they ended up kneeling at the end of the game, or at the end of the half, to take it into halftime. But you guys tell me, as NFL dudes, former NFL players, like, your coach is cool just taking a knee when you have an opportunity to go score before the half. Are you guys happy with that heading into the locker room?
No, absolutely not. You should never take a knee unless you're just in like an abysmal situation. If you're on the 10-yard line, going the long way with 10 seconds left, take a knee, no problem. If we have any chance, I'm talking Aaron Rodgers, 37 seconds, far as hell away, any chance of scoring, let's try to score. To me, Scrapes, he had no idea what was going on. And the teams I was on, most of them had one coach whose designated job in the box was to keep track of time and timeouts and know what the situation is and advise the head coach. Him not having that tells me he's not prepared. And your one job as a head coach is to be prepared and put your team in the best chance to win. I just got to hit him with, the fuck are you thinking?
What are you doing? You right. And you got coaches to handle that shit. Like you have other coaches on your staff to help you handle that shit, or at least to operate every position for you so that you can focus on actually the game plan and clock strategizing. Like that literally has to be almost a part of a drill that you guys are running during the week. Like, I'm sorry, like bring me a different scenario every week so that we can practice it. There's something that's not a regular inside run period. There's not a, 9-on-9 pass period, like give me something that's going to like make sure that not only the coach can think through this, but my players are ready to think through any situation. So for him to do that shit, I'm like, come on, man, you're losing me now.
So I'm gonna give you a little story about some real Stanford shit. So going into my freshman year at Stanford, Coach Tyrone Willingham, one of the best coaches I ever had, he gave us a summer reading list. And I was like, the fuck? This is football. One of the books was the Complete Handbook of Clock Management. He wanted us to sit there and read how to handle clock situations so that way you know what he's thinking, what the coaches are thinking, and you're prepared. I'm talking 18-year-old men are giving this a tenured coach in the NFL. He needs to have that book. And the Cliff
it was
Notes
only $21.95. Like, come on, you got enough bread to buy that shit.
Come on, man.
Oh man, the Cowboys definitely need to buy every book in that's ever been printed, because Jerry Jones said in his appearance with 105.3 The Fan, he said other teams have issues with clock management. Like, wait. What? Jerry Jones, you're going to say other teams? That's your expand. He's like, that's part of the game. And so let's cut things some slack and realize that if you do enough plays, and we were critical of Jason Garrett when he was here, don't you think that goes with the territory? And so that's my point. I know firsthand Mike's capabilities and know how he approaches it, the logic that he uses, and I'm not a bit concerned about his ability to manage a tight situation. If I'm Mike McCarthy, I don't want to be mentioned with Jason Garrett whatsoever.
No, none. You replace it. It's part of the reason why Anthony Lynn got fired from the Chargers. We saw him fail with clock management late in the game, and you blow games, you lose, you get fired.
Yeah, they're gonna take your position after that. But Jerry Jones gives the best like fuck you like answers. like he gives the best just like, well, you think I'm stupid? Yeah, like I don't give a fuck what you think. Like this is why we did it. And like he says it still doesn't make any sense. And it's like he says it with such a fuck you attitude. You know that he don't give a damn. Like he's gonna run it like he want to.
He's like, fuck you. Other teams have those issues too. So we're not any different. We're not going to try to get better because that's just the standard in the NFL. I'm Jerry Jones. I'm Dumb and Dumberer.
Jerry Jones, bitch.
All right. Unless you guys have any more fucks, we are done for the episode of Two Pros and a Joe.
Smooth, man.
Thanks, guys. Another great week of podcasting. You can follow us at Two Pros and a Joe, and you need to make sure you subscribe to us. You need to go follow at Catch Camarillo, at Marcus McNeil 73, at Matt Skraby. Also on Instagram, I think Marcus started a hashtag, no IG Greg.
Hey, no IG Greg.
I've got an IG. I just, I want to put my family pictures on there. I don't want it to be a football thing. I got to have one thing in my life that's football free, and that's more IG for me. I do have 2 TikTok posts going right now. I'm starting to get my TikTok game up.
I see you over there dancing. I figured you had something going by the
Drop your TikTok handle for everyone out there.
I think it's a Catch Camarillo.
Okay.
I'll have to double check
I'm
that.
going to go check this out.
That's his burner account. He didn't want us to know. He didn't want us to know.
That's the one where he shows people his deuces. All right. So there we go. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and tell your friends about it.